over now. And it came to pass. The rock and roll was born. Right across the land, every rock and band going like a song. And the guitar man got famous. The business man got rich. And everybody was a superstar. With a spirit. Let me rock. You know what I want.
Riders on the storm. Riders on the storm. Into this house we're born. Into this world we're thrown. Like a dog without a bone, an actor out alone. Riders on the storm.
And the music was good and the music was loud.
Oh, Lord, Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ultimate Dirt TV. Coverage of the American Dirt Series 360 Winged Sprint Cars. Tonight we come to Rossburg, Ohio for round number 9 of the series. And again, 14 rounds in this series. But again, we are at week number 9. Good evening, race fans. Brett Wheeler with you for the call as we get set. Qualifying is underway. Greg Leonard with a 13.093. We'll take a look at some of the other drivers on the racetrack, and also on your screen is Kenny Hoffman driving car number 1, coming off last week at Lanier, where it was Cameron Pritchard who got his second win. Ironically, according to the point system on the iRacing League page, he is the points leader from Dean Gertie and Trevor Roy, Patrick Spangler, and Johnny Anderson. They are your top 5 as we get set to embark on the final minute of qualifying. Kenny Hoffman, 12th quick with a 13.158 to 13.158. There is Chad Burt, 25th quick with a 13.252. Now this track was pretty slick at the end. However, they did reset it back to 3% to see who can lay down the best lap time. Stephen Lindo in the Dirtco Media House, car number 214. 36 quick with a 13.530. A 13.530. Meanwhile, top of the speed charts, Dean Gertie with a 13.058. Cameron Pritchard with a 13.064. Second quick, Greg Leonard, Garrett Halsey, Ross Kaiser. I reckon Ross Kaiser back in the house tonight. There is Derek Moore, 33rd quick. The 5 entry of JP Scheidera. He is going to go 14th quick with a 13.157. 13.157. Michael Rutledge on screen. Ernie Williams Jr. pulls up the Black Diamond Motorsports. Tim Sims, UDTV, car number 91. And I believe we are looking at a total of 39 drivers taking a time in qualifying, which should set us up for a fantastic night of racing. Let's take a look at those official qualifying results coming up on screen, and it is official. Dean Gertie goes quick time with a 13.058. You'll see 4 heat races on the program. Cameron Pritchard, Greg Leonard, Garrett Halsey, Ross Kaiser make up your top 5. Greg Chandler, Ethan Winter, Eric Whitner, Nicholas McGeethy, and Josh Edmondson going to make up your top 10. Nice to see Skylar Brown back in the field as well. Back there in 11th position. Nathan Davis in 19th. But again, this field is going to be stacked full of talent from top to bottom. Well, speaking of top to bottom, let's go and take a look at the heat race number 1 and how they line up. As Dean Gertie lines up the 15 machine from position number 1 to the outside of the front row. The 4 for Momentum Sim Sports. It's Ross Kaiser, position number 2. Position number 3, we'll see Nicholas McGeethy start inside the second row. Position number 4 to the outside, Matt Althoff in the 417. And you go back to Matt Grimm in car number 91 from position number 5. Jeffrey Newbert in the 13 from position number 6. Stacey Elmore in the 7 out of position number 7. Brian Hawks, I'm going to go with Ox, out of position number 8. Brad Waite in the 814 from position number 9, and Justin Glover, he's got a schedule to line up out of position number 10. So we are looking at Ted Cars, heat race number 1. Ross, the wall doesn't move. Just letting you know, the wall does not and will not move. Let me get that turned off because that shouldn't have come up. There we go. That's closed off. Now we're going to get ready to go racing. Heat 1. Gertie and Kaiser on the front row. McGeethy, Althoff in that second row. Grimm, Newbert, row 3. Elmore, Ort, Ox. I think I said his name three different ways already the first 3 times. Then you go back to Waite and Glover. 10 laps of distance. Top 3 to the main event. Everybody else to the B main. 1 of 2 B mains. These drivers will be in. Green flag is out. And the house that Earl built will see Dean Gertie lead Ross Kaiser down the back straight away. Kaiser going to follow in behind the 15 machine. Gertie slides up the racetrack Kaiser still sits in second position. Battle on for fourth and fifth as they work down into 1 and 2. It's the battle of the bats. Grim on the outside. Grim on the inside of the 91 machine. Althoff in the 417 to the outside. That battle right there is for a better starting spot in tonight's B main. And it's going to be Althoff who holds down position number 4. McGeethy in the 73. Right on the bubble of a transfer position. Meanwhile, closing in on your race leader, Ross Kaiser, trying to get by Dean Gertie. Here in the opening heat race of the night, you can see just a little over a tenth of a second as they work down into 3 and 4. One more time to complete lap number 4. And probably for the first couple of heat races, you won't see too much passing. You will see the track start to slicking up as here comes the 417 entry of Matt Althoff looking to the outside now on the 73 of McGeethy. Meanwhile, challenges up for the race lead. Gertie goes to the middle. Kaiser goes inside. There's a bit of banging wheels down in the middle of 1 and 2. And Ross Kaiser's going to have the race lead. Here comes Gertie. He's going to fight back up on the inside. Kaiser going to drive up around the outside, and Ross Kaiser going to lead that lap. Meanwhile, 3 wide, McGeethy tried the inside on Dean Gertie into turn number 1 and 2. Here comes Althoff in the 417 machine, and a 4-car battle right now for second, third, fourth, and fifth. Gertie still holds on, shutting the door, chopping the nose off was the 417 slider. It's a short slider, Gertie hard into the concrete wall. And that's going to put him out of contention. So poor Dean Gertie, he's been hit from every which way possible right now. Stacey Elmore in that 07 machine. Up to position number 5, Jeffrey Newbert up to position number 4. Meanwhile, Nicholas McGeethy holds on to the runner-up position. Keep an eye on Jeffrey Newbert. Down the front straightaway. White flag is out. 1 lap left to run. I said there wasn't going to be too much passing. Boy, I tell you what, don't I look a little silly right now. There is a whole lot of passing going on. Down out of turn number 4. Checkers around. Ross Kaiser gets the win in heat race number 1. Second will go to McGeethy. Third line is going to be Grimm, followed by Newbert. Althoff make up your top 5. Elmore, Orks, Glover, Waite, and Gertie will make up the drivers in heat race number 1. We get ready to take a look at your results coming up on screen for the opening heat of the night. Any post-race penalties? Does not look like it. Kaiser, McGeethy, Grimm, Newbert, Althoff your top 5. Elmore, Orks, Glover, Waite, and Gertie. Poor old Dean Gertie, quick time, led half the race and will finish in position at number 10. Heat number 2, winner last week from Lanier. Driving car number 11, Cameron Pritchard, and your points leader coming into tonight. He will start on the pole position to the outside of the front row. Greg Chandler will start out of position number 2. Josh Edmondson lines up out of position number 3. JP Shardo out of position number 4. Joseph Grant in the 518 rolls off out of position number 5. Anthony Marvuglio in the Mass Mafia Motorsports 238 out of position number 6. Chad Burt from position number 7. Cole Croft out of position number 8. Derek Moore from position number 9, and Braden Casto lines up out of position number 10. What a wild Heat 1 we just witnessed. What are we going to see in Heat Race number 2? Well, we'll have to wait and find out. Round 9 of 10. The American Dirt Series 360 Winged Sprint Cars. Tonight comes from Eldora Speedway. I'm just trying to think where we head to next. Bear with me. No, that is their next series that they are putting on. Green flag is out. Next week we go to the sprint car capital of the world, the Knoxville Raceway. But for now, we're going to go and visit the house that Earl built. Marvuglio in that 238 machine to the outside on Josh Edmondson. Now to turn number 4, Edmondson slips back to position number 5, but he'll quickly make his way back to position number 4. But how long for? Well, not for long, because Marvuglio's got the run through the middle of the racetrack. Keep an eye on Joseph Green in that 518 machine. That's the black, purple, blue, and yellow entry. Very colourful race car. I'll tell you what, it looks very, very nice. So they work down into turns 3 and 4. How about Cole Croft upstairs? Car into the wall. That's Chandler. Marvuglio involved in that one. We'll go yellow here on lap number 5. So 4 down. Make that 3 down. I don't think we completed 4 laps. Hi Dot, thank you for that follow, appreciate it. Welcome in. Let's take a look here at your NLRA instant replay. All this unfolded, Greg Chandler in the number 94, in fact, copped the big old right rear from the 5 entry of JP Eldora. So we'll let race control deal with that situation at hand, but Greg Chandler back in the pits. Everybody else still circulating around and pacing behind the iRacing.com official pace truck. Cameron Pritchard again last week picked up his second win on the season. We go back to Lanier last week, and he really had to earn that victory from Braden Miller and Dean Gertie. He only led what was essentially two, maybe 3 laps. And he got the win over Braden Miller and Dean Gertie. And a couple of weeks ago, we were scheduled to be at Lernerville. The series was. We had timing issues. He actually finished 3rd. Then you go back to Fairbury the week before. And looking at those results coming up as well, he finished 4th. So he's been on a bit of a hot streak as of late. Can he continue it on? Well, I'm sure we're about to find out. No penalty for the 5 as we go back racing. Hello. Hello, Nank. Back underway. Heat number 2 of 4. Shiner upstairs. Grandy through the middle. But look at Josh Edmondson in the 58 machine. Working to the marbles into turns 3 and 4. That is your battle for 3rd and 4th. Here comes the 6 of Chad Burke. Cole Croft in the 29, working out of the inside. Burt around the outside at Grandy, and Chad Burt comes after Grandy for 4th position and picks him up nice and clean around the outside. Burt not done with just yet. He rails the cushion through 1 and 2. The 58 entry of Josh Edmondson. That is the man on the bubble for the moment. Grandy and Croft, they were working side by side through 3 and 4. Grandy going to try and slide up the racetrack just a little bit, but we watch this battle on for 3rd and 4th position. Edmondson and Bird. 2 laps left to run for your race leader, Cameron Pritchard, looking to start outside the front row of tonight's main event. Going down to the bottom side of the racetrack was Chad Bird in car number 6. Edmondson back to the outside. They drag race down into turn number 3. Touch and squeeze and love and feel and all sorts of touching going on in 3 and 4. In the 1 and 2 we go. Chad Bird looks to the inside, but Edmondson gets a run back down the outside. He's going to shut the door. Going down into turns 3 and out of turn number 4. It's not going to matter. Croft into the side of Grandy. He's going to lose a ton of positions. Poor Joseph Grandy was sitting about 5th position. And now he's going to get shuffled back to position number 9. But heat number 2 is done. Checkers around. Official results coming up on screen. Cameron Pritchard, your winner from JP Schneider. Josh Edmondson will get the top 3 transfer positions. They will go into tonight's main event for the likes of Burt, Croft, Casto, Marvuglio, Moore, Grandy, and Chandler. 4th on back, we'll see them in B main 1 or B main number 2 as we get set for heat race number 3. And lining up on the pole, driving the 35 machine, that is Greg Leonard to the outside of the front row. Ethan Winter from position number 2. Skylar Brown lines up at a position number 3. Kenny Hoffman in the 31 from position number 4. Position number 5 and row 3, in fact, is the Black Diamond Motorsports row inside the 3rd row. From position number 5, it's the 36 of Nathan Davis to the outside. Driving car number 91, Al Boomhauer, Ernie Williams Jr. from position number 6. Stephen Fernberg lines up at a position number 7, and in all Stephen row 4, Stephen Lindo lines up at a position number 8. Michael Rutledge in the 33 for Rutledge Brothers Racing lines up at a position number 9 with James Haas in the 81 from position number 10. So Brown and Hoffman, no strangers, along with Williams and Davis, in finding their way to the front of the field. But they've got to get by the likes of Leonard and Winter. How far will the Stevens go? Fernberg and Lindo. Will Rutledge and Haas, how far will they go forward? Or are they going to stay there? Time will tell. Ready to go racing. Heat number 3, 10 on the board. Greg Leonard brings the field off turn number 4. And we are racing. Skylar Brown, that familiar yellow number 10 machine, looks out to the inside. Here comes the 1 machine of Kenny Hoffman. Hoffman to the outside, Brown on the inside. Then you go back to Ernie Williams Jr. Kenny Hoffman holds on to position number 3. Speaking of it's the battle of the yellow machines. Ernie Williams Jr. and Skylar Brown. Brown in the 10, Williams in the 91, Kenny Hoffman in the 1 machine. Here comes Nathan Davis now trying to get a run on the outside. Davis into the wall. He lets Stephen Fernberg in car number 29 scoot on by. Meanwhile, Ethan Winter coming after your race leader into turn number 3 and 4. Winter now I thought he might have been trying to duck down to the inside as he just checked up a bit for Greg Leonard. Here comes the 1 machine of Kenny Hoffman now 3 wide down into turn number 3 and 4. It's the daily double slide jump by Hoffman. 3 wide off turn number 4. Leonard splits the gap between Winter and Hoffman. Oh, picture perfect right there and pinpoint accuracy on with that crossover. Winter back down into 3 and 4. Hoffman into the wall. Ernie Williams Jr. is going to scoot on by. Ernie Williams Jr. will pick up the 3rd and final transfer position. Brown comes after. Kenny Hoffman into 1 and 2. Back up front, keeping an eye on the battle for the race lead. Ethan Winter, Greg Leonard. Greg Leonard still holds on to the number 1 position. 4 laps left to run. 2 miles around Eldora Speedway. Rosberg, Ohio, here comes a big slide job down into 3 and 4, and hopefully we're going to see quite a lot of that here tonight at Eldora. Leonard back to the race lead through turn number 1 and 2, gets into the wall, and now the opportunity, the door opens up again for Ethan Winter. Slide job one more time as the 2 trade blows back and forth. Here comes the 91 of Ernie Williams Jr. Slided by Leonard on Winter. Winter back down to the inside, down the back straightaway. Leonard going to go downstairs and try and take the slider, try and take the race lead. They make contact, Ethan Winter into the wall, does a 360, and the white flag is out, so unfortunately we're going to race till the end. It's now Leonard and Williams down into turn number 3 and 4. Final time, cutback, Ernie Williams Jr., Greg Leonard at the line. Ernie Williams Jr. is going to steal that one. Ernie Williams Jr. from 6th position looks to have taken and stolen the win from Greg Leonard. Kenny Hoffman will come home 2nd. Skylar Brown 3rd. Stephen Fernberg going to round out your top 5. Stephen Lindau, Michael Rutledge, Nathan Davis, Jamie Haas and Ethan Winter. Oh my, take it out. Greg Leonard, Ernie Williams Jr. and Ethan Winter. What a hell of a heat race they just put on here at Eldora, and it is going to be official. Ernie Williams Jr. 0.056 of a second over Greg Leonard. Kenny Hoffman in 3rd. Skylar Brown, Stephen Fernberg, Stephen Lindau, Michael Rutledge, Nathan Davis, Ethan Winter, and James Haas was given a 30-second penalty, so he will come home in position number 10 as we get ready for your 4th and final heat race of the night. Garrett Halsey in the 88 for Elite Performance Industry starts on the pole position to the outside. Driver the Nitro Circus, Next Level Racing. Car number 1 of Eric Whitner from position number 2. He's driving the 17 car. All the way, Wade Fields in the Indy Race Parts Esports. Car number 71 from position number 3. The Training Wheels Racing. Car number 39, Patrick Spangler lines up at a position number 4. Roman Gephardt in the Granny Griffey Racing, caliber 21 from position number 5. Casey Simons in the FSI Motorsports 54 from position number 6. Chad Coate lines up at a position number 7. The Inferno Motorsports 23 entry of Chris Schaefer from position number 8. And Black Bullet Racing as driver Nick Shell lines up from position number 9. Heat 3, race of the night. Can you top it? How about that win from Ernie Williams Jr., by the way, from 6th to 1st. So still some decent tracks. Knoxville, Williams Grove, Weedsport, Charlotte, I-55. That is the final 5 races on the American Dirt Series 360 Sprint Car calendar. Halsey and Whitner. We go back racing. I thought Whitner was in the 17, but here we go, down into 1. Halsey, here comes Fields trying to make the move on Whitner. Now Spangler in the 39 machine, the old Lynch machine. Sliding up is fields, but Spangler back around the outside, makes a little contact on the front straightaway, comes off the wall. Whitner trying to come up the Halsey. Here comes Roman Gephardt in car number 21. Gephardt down to the inside on Spangler. Slide job for the third and final transfer spot. Meanwhile, there's a challenge on for the race lead. Eric Whitner comes after Garrett Halsey. Halsey got into the cushion, got into the wall. He'll lose one spot. Now he's going to lose a whole bunch more. Look out, there's 2, 3, 4 cars upside down. And that was essentially second, third, and fourth position. The only one to drive away from that one somewhat is Patrick Spangler. And 4 cars involved in that little incident. And unfortunately, it all started. You go back to turn number 1 and 2. Let's take a look at the NLRA instant replay when it decides that it wants to work. Okay, bear with me. Don't do this to me. Why you do this to me? Why? Okay. Are we back live? We're not back live. We're just going to fast forward until we go back live. There we go. Alright, so no more instant replays, unfortunately. I got no idea why. It's the first time I've opened it up today. Maybe it just doesn't like Friday night stuff. Ooh, 2 divisions. American Dirt Series. 360 sprints. May 1st. Lucas Oil, May 15th, I-55, Ladia, Charlotte, Limeland, Cedar Lake, Volusia, Knoxville, Port Royal, Eldora, Lernerville, USA, Bristol, and The Grove. 7:15 and 9 p.m. Okay. We'll come back to racing here at Eldora with what is now 6 cars left on the track. Maybe 7 if Roman Gephardt decides he wants to leave pit exit. As you can see on the timing and scoring screen, no, looks like he's going to stay there. 3 wide for 4, 5, and 6 position. Eric Whitner, your race leader from Casey Simons. Then you go back to Chad Coate in car number 11. Chris Schaefer on screen in car number 23. Schaefer coming after Coate in the middle of turn number 3 and 4. Could not complete the passes. Chad Coate now trying to come after Casey Simons for the runner-up position. That FSI Motorsports car number 54 machine. Spangler trying to work his way through this field one more time and get a better starting spot in tonight's B main, unless he can somehow find a way up to the top 3 positions. Meanwhile, Eric Whitner is your race leader. Spangler comes back after Chris Schaefer down into turns 3 and 4. With 3 laps left to run, your top 3 as it stands is Whitner, Simons and Coate. Battle is on for 4th and 5th position. One more time, Schaefer tried to move on the inside through the middle of the racetrack to get by Spangler. He'll try it one more time, just gets caught in the slick there on the exit of corner number 4. Spangler rails the cushion through turn number 1 and 2. That is Chad Coate in car number 11. Who has got that 3rd and final transfer spot on lockdown for the time being. He's only got 4 turns, which it turns out to be half a mile away from putting the 11 machine into your main event. But into turns 3, out of turn number 4. Checkered flag is out. Eric Whitner gets a win from Casey Simons. Chad Coate in 3rd, Patrick Spangler 4th, Chris Schaefer. Going to round out your top 5, Nick Schell, Garrett Halsey, Wade Fields and Roman Gephardt will be your 9 drivers in heat race number 4. No need for a 5th heat race. We'll go straight into your last chance qualifiers, where I believe we should be taking the top 6 from each of those. And there is your official results up on screen. We take a look at your Ultimate Dirt TV starting grid. And in fact, it is top 5. So 15 laps is the distance. Top 5 will go through to the main event as we get set to take a look at Jeffrey Newbert in car number 13 from position at number 1. Skylar Brown out of position number 2. Matt Althoff out of position number 3. Stephen Furberg position number 4. Stacey Elmore from position number 5 and Stephen Lindau out of position number 6. Brian Oaks out of position number 11. Michael Rutledge out of position number 8. Justin Glover from position number 9. Nathan Davis from position number 12. Excuse me, position number 13, it's Brad Wow. Position number 11, Brad White. Position number 12, Ethan Winter. And position number 13 is Dean Gertie. So, Gertie, Winter, Davis, all having to come from the tail end of the field. 12 cars, in fact. Brian Oaks not making the call for your first B main. Again, 15 laps is the distance here tonight for these B mains. And again, we'll take the top 5 from this 12 car field and put them on to the tail end of what is the A main. Green flag is out. We're underway. B main, Skylar Brown getting shuffled back to the 3rd position as he tries to rail around the outside of Matt Althoff in the 417. We go yellow, and unfortunately, we are not going to be able to take a look at the replay because it is not working for some reason. So we're going to leave that one alone. So once we go back to green, which we shouldn't be too far away. So Newbert and Brown. Ready to fire back underway in tonight's B main. This is B main number 1. And we're down into 1 and 2 we go. The battle is on for 4th and 5th position. It's the 07 of Elmore trying to get by Stephen Fernberg. Fernberg in car 29. So I'm not sure how and why Brad White is up the front of the field, but hopefully timing and scoring will get that one fixed up as we go yellow. And I dare say that race control may just be looking at trying to get that one fixed right now. Again, unfortunately, no replays. Brad White is back in the pit, so just allow the timing and scoring, just allowing the timing loop to update. Hopefully it shouldn't take too long to get that updated for everyone, I should say. So round number 9 of the American Dirt Series 360 winged sprint cars here tonight from the Eldora Speedway. Knoxville next week. Looking forward to that one. That should be an absolute belter. A field of what we had, nearly 40 drivers signed into the pits. So a real good field of drivers here tonight. The American Dirt Series. Don't forget after what will be the next little over a month of racing, they've got some more stuff going on. So plenty to look forward to here with the American Dirt Series. We're back underway. Oh, if I can click on the right thing, we would be right to keep on going. Skylar Brown gets by Matt Althoff. Althoff now looks back down to the inside. Elmore looking down to the bottom side of the racetrack. Here comes Stephen Fernberg, car 39. Keep an eye on Stephen Lindau and Nathan Davis. Davis trying to get into the show in car number 36. Here comes Dean Gertie as well. Gertie trying the inside, so Gertie is up to sixth position, and now one spot out of a transfer spot. Here comes Davis back down to the inside. He tried to cut back line on Dean Gertie. Davis going to slide up in front of Gertie, but Gertie back around the outside, and the 15 machine is hauling right now. He's got some speed, trying to go through the middle of the racetrack. Elmore in car number 07 has got the fifth and final transfer position for the moment on lockdown, but that may change. Elmore, oh boy, Fernberg, Elmore and Gertie Davis come together, and the 29 of Fernberg goes upside down, and we're going to stay green. So I'm assuming that, well, oh, there it is. There is that yellow flag. So yellow is on the racetrack. Just as things were starting to get a little intense. It's getting all sorts of tight up around that transfer position. So again, this field, I tell you what, everybody fighting for every inch of the racetrack. We started off with a 3% qualifying state, and we're now starting to get into what is going to be feature race territory. It's going to be a tough deal for some of these guys to get their cars into the show. No doubt, I'm sure these drivers are up for the challenge. Here we go, back underway. Tonight's B main, the first of two B mains. And it's still Skylar Brown leading the way. No, again, we're off. We're not on the right application for me to change the camera angles. Elmore and Althoff still fighting it out for positions 3 and 4. Now here comes Davis around the outside. Davis up to position number 5. Justin Glover in the 25. Here comes Dean Gertie one more time, looking around the outside. And it is getting very, very hectic and chaotic right around the transfer position. And the battle is certainly going to be on as Dean Gertie gets into the wall. They've got coming to 2 laps left to run. in tonight's B main. This is B main number 1. Can he hang on to that 5th and final transfer position? You'd like to say yes, but we're not going to find out just yet because we go yelling just as we were coming to the white flag. Well, we're going to have to wait just a little bit longer right now. I'm sure these drivers are getting a little nervous, especially if you are right around the bubble position. So who will it be? Who will take out the top 5 transfer positions? And who will be putting themselves into tonight's A main? It's a lot to play for these guys, and I'm not even going to say girls because there's no girls in the field. Although sometimes some of them do act like it. But it is what it is, right? Here we go, back underway. It is going to be Skylar Brown, who has got the advantage over Jeffrey Newbert. Again, his first B main. We've still got a second B main to come. So we've got B main number 2. Then we have a warm-up session, don't forget. Then there is the 30-lap main event. So with that being said, we're just going to take a quick drink break. Alright. Oh, so also American Dirt Series. Monday nights, they have 2 divisions, the Thunder Series and the Lightning Series. Thunder Division, 7:15 Eastern, I-rating cap of 2,700 or below. Top 5 each night will advance into the Light Division race, which will happen at 9 o'clock Eastern, which will be an I-rating of 2,700 and up. Here we go. We'll see if we can get the second green-white checker into the books. Oh boy, 1 car out of fuel. Jeffrey Newbert out of fuel. And it's going to be Michael Rutledge who gets into the back of him. So Newbert out of fuel. And with time starting to become an issue. And even then, you've got to wonder that how many are actually going to make it on fuel. We know everybody likes to cut it fine and close, and of course, we've just seen there with Jeffrey Newbert running out of fuel out of turn 2. That is the risk you take. So let's try this for a third time. Will third time be a charm? Lights still flashing on the racing.com official pace track here at Eldora. 4 cars left on the track with, don't forget, top 5 going through. So Dean Gertie has got that 5th and final transfer position. I believe it looks like he's on his way out. So although he's on his way out, as long as he can just get that extra lap in, he will have finished 5th, which will of course means that he is going to the main event. Lights do go out on the pace track one more time. The 6 cars, Stephen Lindo on the racetrack as well. Davis trying to get a run on the 417 car of Matt Althoff as they work down into 3 and 4 one more time. And it is basically just a 1-lap shootout, a 1-lap sprint to the end. Checkers are out. The time has elapsed and we are done in B main number 1. So it has been run and won. Skylar Brown will get the win over Nathan Davis, Matt Althoff, Stephen Fernberg, and Dean Gertie. As your B main number 1 results coming up on screen, there it is, official results. It will be Brown, Davis, Althoff, Fernberg, and Gertie that will go through to the show 6th on back. Well, thanks for coming. Your night is done here from Eldora. As we take a look at B main number 2, which we see a field of 14 drivers. And the way they line up will be Chad Burt from the pole position, Patrick Spangler from the outside of the front row, position number 2. Dean, I think you could be very close to that one. Cole Croft at a position number 3, Chris Schaefer from position number 4. Braden Casto at a position number 5, Nick Shell outside from position number 6. 4th row inside, position number 7, Anthony Marvuglio to the outside, Garrett Halsey, position number 8. Derek Moore inside the 5th row from position number 9 to the outside, Roman Gephardt in the 21 from position number 10. Position number 11, it's the 518 of Joseph Grandy from position number 12 for Indy Race Parts Esports, that is Wade Fields. Greg Chandler out of position number 13 and James Haas out of position number 14. Alright, I'm going to say, are we taking overs or unders? 3 cautions. In fact, I'll say 2 and I'll say 3.5. 3.5. Is it going to be under? So is it going to be 3 or less, or is it going to be 4 or more? I'm going to go unders on this one. I'm confident in these guys in B main number 2. I feel like they can get it done in just 2. And well, we're 2 by 2, but except for your race leader, because he has already shot off into the race lead as Chad Bird. Cole Croft works the inside of the racetrack. That is for the runner-up position. Now Croft, well, he's going to stay locked down to the bottom side of the racetrack. Keep an eye on Spangler to the outside in car number 39. They go side by side. 1 upstairs, 1 down low. We complete the opening lap here at Eldora for B main number 2. Burt still your race leader. There's a bit of a gap back to 4th and 5th position. Anthony Marvuglio and Braden Casto. Here comes Roman Gephardt in car number 21. Going through the middle. Slides up. Here comes Casto back through the middle of the racetrack. Casto up to position number 4. Put Gephardt into position number 5. Marvuglio back to 6. Schaefer back in 7th. And it is going to be Gephardt and Casto throwing sliders, throwing haymakers at each other through 1 and 2. They'll do the same down into 3 and 4 one more time. And it's a real long slide job. Casto, he had 4th position at the line as we complete lap number 4. Here comes Garrett Halsey, work on the inside of the racetrack through 1 and 2. He's going to do the same down into 3 and 4. And again, it's Casto and Gephardt. They continue to trade slide jumps. Oh, look out! Casto comes down into Halsey. Wade Fields involved in that one. Big wreck in turn number 1. And that is number 1. That is number 1. I said 3 or less. Just hopefully not 4 or more. So you can see as on the timing screen, Wade Fields, he's out of the event. Nick Shell back in the pits. Braden Casto also going into pit lane, but he will find himself with a quick repair on that 00 machine. He will come back out onto the racing surface. Lights still flashing, so we are still 2 to green for the moment. Alright, here we go. One more time. We let him loose. Oh, Chad Burt getting a little crossed up out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Here comes Cole Croft with the big Hail Mary play into turns 3 and 4. Lap 7 is complete. 8 laps left to run. Hello, Senior. Hello. Oh, Croft got a little loosey-goosey as Gephardt tried to the inside as well. He thought Croft was going for the big slider, but he decided to pull it up. And now here comes Gephardt looking for the daily double on the old right rear. And the old training wheels is certainly going to need some training wheels after taking a violent ride in the 39. And he got him for good measure as well. Yellow is out. That is caution number 2. Wade, hello? Okay, now where was that comment on? Ah, okay, that was Senior's comment on that. That's okay. So what I am going to do is I'm going to go here, and if I do that and that, yes, nice. Okay, well we're going to leave that right there because when the A main is about to roll off, we are going to share the backside out of this one. 2 cautions, I said, 3 are under. Let's see if we can get these final 6 laps in the books here at Eldora. Don't forget, A-Main coming up after a brief little warm-up session. I don't think they're going to get too long. I think they might even just sort of roll on through straight away. Holds it to the inside on Marvuglio, and that's your battle for third and fourth position. Colecroft into the wall one more time as he tries to come up to Chad Burt. Meanwhile, Joseph Green in the fifth and final transfer position. He has not got anything to worry about. He's got 5/10 of a second, half a second over Roman Gephardt as they work down into 1 and 2. On lap number 12, and that's the 29 of Colecroft, who is in the runner-up position for the time being. 22 cars will take to the racetrack for tonight's starting grid for 30 laps around the Eldora Speedway. And we've got 2 to run as they make their way off turn number 4. Chad Burt over a 1 second advantage lead right now over what is going to be Garrett Halsey into position number 2, and we are on yellow. And this is yellow number 3, boys. I said 3 or under. I felt like B-Main number 2. That was going to be the magical number. So a green, white checker. A green, white checker. Alright, we are not too far away from sharing that one out. So again, we do happen to go quiet for probably the next minute or so after this final, or what hopefully should be or what could be, I'm not going to say it is because anything's possible when people are trying to get desperate. 2 laps left to run, a mile around the Eldora Speedway, Rossburg, Ohio, the house that Earl built. Tony Stewart's now bread and butter, his backyard. Back to green we go. Chad Burt, Marvuglio trying to push Garrett Halsey down into turn number 1 and 2. Colecroft works the inside, he protects that bottom part of the racetrack. He's going to do it down into 3 and 4 one more time. I thought that left front was getting very close to that concrete wall. Here comes Joseph Grandy around the outside. White flag is out, no more yellows. So it was right on 3. And I did say 3.5, it was over or under. I said it was going to be 3 or less. Down into 3 and 4. Final time. Checkers are out. It's going to be Burt, Croft, Halsey, Gephardt and Grandy. Marvuglio is going to miss out, unfortunately. And that's a tough break, because now this warm-up session is done. We are going to start sharing this out. So while this is going on, we are going to again share out the broadcast. If you are just joining us here for the first time, welcome to Ultimate Dirt TV, the best in the business. The most followers on Facebook. You won't find anyone else with the better number. I've got access to over 50,000 followers. Find me someone else that's got that access. So we're not too far away from the checkered flag here on the warm-up session. And then of course we'll get into your starting grid. We'll go from back to front. I think we're getting very close to what should be the end of the shares. Okay, I've done it on my part. I find that funny and ironic. With that, anyhow, we are going to bring up the NASCAR overlay here in just a few moments' time. Boy, they're really working this racetrack in, I've got to say. It's getting really, really tricky for some of these guys. They're really making this track be very, very slick. Look, again, I'm very, very surprised to see that, you know, we've got a very, I mean, like I said, we've got a slick racetrack as it is. And really making sure that there is no moisture anywhere on this track. And other than the front straightaway, you look at the turns, there is nothing there from pretty much the bottom all the way to the concrete. I'm just going to say, boys, the wall does not move. So while we have 3 minutes completed of this 5-minute warm-up session, of course, we'll take this opportunity to step aside here on Ultimate Dirt TV. We'll play a quick 30-second commercial. Come back on the other side of this, hopefully with your starting grid. But you are watching Ultimate Dirt TV's coverage of the American Dirt Series 360 Wing Sprint Cars A Main for round number 9 of 14. Well, and just like that, the warm-up is done. I do believe they were waiting for a couple of drivers to get back into the server after having some technical issues with their computers. But nonetheless, we are ready to go racing here tonight from the Eldora Speedway. It's time to take a look, ladies and gentlemen, at your Ultimate Dirt TV starting grid from back to front. It didn't even show the actual B-Main finishing results, actually. But nonetheless, 22 cars getting ready to start tonight's main event. Joseph Grady from position number 22. Position number 21, it's Dean Gertie. Position number 20, it's Roman Gephardt to the inside. Position number 19, Steven Fernberg. Position number 18, it is Garrett Halsey. Position number 17, Matt Althoff. Position number 16, Cole Croft. Position number 15, Nathan Davis. Position number 14, it's Chad Bird. Position number 13, Skylar Brown. Position number 12, it's Chad Coate. Position number 11, Kenny Hoffman. We move to your top 10. Position number 10, Josh Edmondson. Position number 9, Matt Grimm. Position number 8, Casey Simons. Position number 7, Greg Leonard. Position number 6, JP Charterer. Position number 5, Nicholas McGeethy. Position number 4, Eric Whitner. Position number 3, Ernie Williams Jr. Position number 2, Cameron Pritchard. Position number 1, it'll be Ross Kaiser. 30 laps on the board. Who will take out round number 9 of the American Dirt Series 360 winged sprint cars from Eldora? Can Pritchard back up a win last week? We'll wait and find out. Can Gurney come from the tail of the field? Will Ross Kaiser, will he wreck it or will he go to victory lane? There is a handful of drivers. Anybody who can win this race. It's time to get dirty for 30 here at the Eldora Speedway, and we are green. Oh, Williams comes up on Pritchard in the middle of turn number 1 and 2. Everybody working their way down the back straightaway, trying to find themselves into a nice little rhythm as lap number 1 belongs to the 9 machine of Ross Kaiser. Greg Leonard working the inside of the racetrack. McGeethy trying to work it upstairs through 1 and 2. He'll cut it back to the middle, slide it up to the cushion. Keep an eye on that 91 machine of Ernie Williams Jr. He's got Matt Grimm in car 91 as well, so it's the battle of the 91 machines. Hoffman trying to come through the middle of the racetrack as well. We're going to go nearly 3 wide down into turns 3 and 4 between McGeethy, Grimm and Williams. Here comes the 5 of JP Shiner. Now I'm going to cut back low. Down to the bottom 3 wide as they make their way off turn number 2. McGeethy splits the middle between Shiner and Williams. And now Kenny Hoffman. What a 5-car battle you've got down into turn number 3 and 4. Oh boy, everybody just checks up just a little bit there towards the exit of corner number 4. McGeethy in the 73 upstairs. Grimm in the 91 machine. Still working to the inside of the racetrack. Through turn number 3 and 4. Shiner slides up in front of Hoffman. Hoffman has to turn it back underneath him. We complete lap number 5 of this 30-lap A main event. And look at this 5-car pack on screen. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th position. Williams, big slide job down into 3 and 4 on McGeethy. And he now looks to drive away from Nicholas McGeethy. But McGeethy going to come back and him down into turn number 1 and 2. And McGeethy straight up fences him. Not clear. And McGeethy was never going to get clear of that slider. McGeethy will bring on the first caution of the evening as Ross Kaiser just pulls up behind the iRacing.com official pace truck. So McGeethy got passed clean by Williams. And McGeethy tried to return the favour, but unfortunately the only thing that he returned was maybe a borrowed right rear. Keep an eye on Pritchard as well. What has he got for Ross Kaiser? Been super impressed with Greg Leonard as well in that number 94 machine. And if we go back last week, back to Lanier, if I remember the podium, we had Cameron Pritchard who won, Braden Miller and Dean Gertie. Greg Leonard was one of those drivers that was running inside the top 3 or top 4 and ended up coming away with a 5th place finish last week after starting 10th position. So we have a look at some the other names that of course finished last week. Of course you got Pritchard, there's no Braden Miller here this week, Dean Gertie's here, no Miles Jansen, Greg Leonard, Ernie Williams Jr., Braden Casto. I don't think Casto's in this main event. He's not. Gephardt is. Burt is. So you're looking at about 6 drivers from last week's, I should say, top 10 in tonight's A main event field. So we'll go back green 24. We should go back to 23. Laps left to run, and it is going to be the 9 machine of Ross Kaiser. Here goes Leonard down to the inside into turn number 1 and 2. Pritchard tried to roll around the outside. Then Matt Grimm in the black and green car number 91 machine. Shiner on the inside. Oh no, Shiner caught the left rear of Grimm. How about Dean Gertie up to position number 7 inside 8 laps. He started dead last on this field. Pritchard Cops a little short slider there from Kenny Hoffman. Here comes Chad Code as well. In car number 11, Code picked up. In fact, he was the final car to get the transfer position in heat race number 4. 3 wide on. Oh, look out, Whitner, Gurney and Davis coming through the field right now. Whitner started outside the second row. He picked up a win in heat race number 4, and unfortunately, he's just getting shuffled back, and he's going to get shuffled back a little further. And we are yellow one more time on the raceway. And these cautions probably coming out at the right time for the likes of Dean Gertie, Nathan Davis, Roman Gephardt trying to come through the field as well, Garrett Halsey. For Ross Kaiser, this could be helping him as well because he knows that, well, with these 5 lap runs, it breaks it up to where they're not going to get into lap traffic. With 22 cars on the racetrack, and we're still 22 on the racetrack. The 22 started. Yes, we've had only 2 cautions. Now, I was going to give you the caution. Again, we're going to play the over-under game. We were right on the money when it comes to the cautions in the B main. And I was going to say 5. So let's go 5.5 under over. So I'm going to say 5 or less. And right now we're at 2. Light should go out. Just keep an eye on the wing and you'll be able to see how far the wing is either forward or back. And also something to keep an eye on as well, especially on this restart. I will bet your last $100 bill. I'll bet your last dollar bill. Whenever you see the pace start to pick up from your race leader, that inside second row will go with him. Ready? I'm going to make the call. So when Hoffman goes, you know the leader's going. 3, 2, 1, go. Well, okay, I take that back. He didn't get all that well of a good start, so maybe no countdown there. Apologies. Pritchard cuts back down the bottom of turn number 1 and 2. He goes back up to position number 3. Now looks to come after the runner-up position. Leonard upstairs, Hoffman upstairs, Code upstairs as well, but Pritchard is working down to the bottom side of the racetrack. Hoffman with a slide job, and so does Pritchard. They both slide up. Leonard comes back underneath Hoffman as they make contact on the exit of turn number 2. Code. Here comes Dean Gertie as well in car number 15 from the tail end of the field. Dead last, position number 22. And he is now into the top 5 momentarily. Gets shuffled back by Greg Leonard. And there is Chad Code in car number 11 up to position number 4. He finished 3rd in heat race number 4. Meanwhile, challenge for the runner-up position. Pritchard slides up in front of Hoffman. Hoffman turns it back down the racetrack, down the back straight away. They work down into turn number 3 and 4. We are going to be half race distance. Hoffman, very experienced. He knew that he was not going to clear the slider on Cameron Pritchard, so he backed out of it. Probably some drivers that can take note of that one. But your top 3, Kaiser, Pritchard, Hoffman, and the battle is on. 4, 5 and 6. 3 wide down into turn number 3 and 4. Code on the outside. Gertie through the middle, Leonard on the inside of the racetrack. Here comes the 36 for Black Diamond Motorsports. That is Nathan Davis. Coat around the outside one more time on Dean Gertie as they work down into 3 and 4. Gertie with the big Hail Mary play down into 3 and 4. He's going to get into the concrete wall. It's not going to move no matter how hard you hit it. He'll go back down to the bottom, trying to find some moisture down there. Set himself up for the slider into turn number 3 and 4. Does he pull the trigger? Yeah, he's going to pull the trigger. But again, he done it. Well done to Dean Gertie. Again, just like what we seen Kenny Hoffman do a couple of laps, he realised he was not going to get clear of it and decided to pull the car up. Davis left the lane on the outside for Gertie to drive back around. Here comes Skylar Brown into the pit. You can't miss the yellow number 10. How about the 54 entry of Casey Simons? Starting to move his way back up through the field. Ernie Williams Jr. There is Garrett Halsey as well. And it is a hornet's nest of cars. And the gaggle of cars fighting for position. I don't even know what position this is for, but there is about 8 or 9 cars. And have a look at this. I mean, where do you even begin to try and dictate on what is happening on the racetrack. Gephardt, meanwhile, in the 21 around the outside, the wing tugged all the way back. Working to the outside, we are now single-digit laps remaining, and it is 7/10 of a second lead for Ross Kaiser over Cameron Pritchard. Problems for Roman Gephardt in car number 21. There's your leader, Kaiser. Then you go back to the 21 of Pritchard, 7/10 of a second lead, similar, a 1.5 second gap back to third place. We go yellow. And oh my, that's caution flag number 3. And what about that 8 or 9 car pack? It was chaotic. Oh my. Caution number 3. And what a stint that was. And with 7 to go, as it stands, it will go back to 8. So, but then it'll go back to 7. So with 7 to go, you know we're not going to get into lap traffic. With what should be the single file restart, because we're inside the final 10 laps, will Ross Kaiser, will he get... I'm just going to see how many races he has done. He has done a couple there. So he is looking for his first win in the season. Now, admittedly, he is not going to... Basically, he's not here for the points. He's just here to take some points away from other people and shake it up just a little bit. So we'll go back to 8 and then we'll go to 7 to go once we get the green flag. So we're already less than a heat race distance away from someone picking up round number 9 victory here at Eldora Speedway. Lights are out. Pace truck is in. Kaiser gets on the gas. We go back green here at Eldora. We know how good Pritchard can be late in these races. Well, he's got an opportunity right now as they work into 3 and 4. They all rail the cushion right up on the concrete wall. Meanwhile, Greg Leonard still working the inside line through 3 and 4. Battle on once again. Oh, Gertie and Brown along with Chad Coate, Greg Leonard. So 4, 5, 6 and 7th position. Gertie with a triple slide job down into turn number 3 and 4. Coate into the back of Gertie. They keep it going in the forward direction. Ernie Williams Jr. has fought his way back up to position number 10. Brown around the outside on Chad Coate. And there was nothing in it. 4 laps remaining for the 9. Brown into the wall. Coate looking to get by in that number 11 machine. He drifts up, cuts it back down. Here comes Simons in the 54 machine around the outside of Ernie Williams Jr. Back up towards the car, the front 2 cars. Here comes Pritchard, 3 to run. Slide job down into 1 and 2. This is your battle for the race lead. This was about the time last week at Lanier National Speedway where Cameron Pritchard was able to come away and take over the race lead, but he's not going to be able to do that with 2 laps left to run. And as the 2 of Kaiser and Pritchard continue to fight it out with one another, it slowly brings in the 1 machine of Kenny Hoffman. But time is running out here. Half a mile to go. 1 lap left to go. Pritchard, I thought he may have had an opportunity, but he just caught the concrete wall with the right rear tyre into 3 and 4 for the final time. Round number 9 is complete here in Eldora. Ross Kaiser going to park it in victory lane. Second will go to Cameron Pritchard. Kenny Hoffman third. Fourth will go to Greg Leonard. Dean Gertie from the back, hard charger, plus 16 positions. He will come away with a 5th place finish here tonight. Fireworks on the racetrack, but now that the race is done, the fireworks go off. Kaiser, Pritchard, Hoffman, your top 3. From Leonard and Gertie, your top 5. Coate, Williams, Simons, Halsey and Grimm, your top 10. Then you go back to Burt, Grandy, Fernberg, Edmondson, Brown, your top 15. Davis, Althoff, the last car's on the lead lap. Charterer, 1 lap down in 18th. And you go back to Whitner, Croft, that's your top 20. Gephardt and McGeethy to make up this field, this 22 car field. We'll wait for the guys to get into victory lane, and then we will chat with your top three here in just a few moments' time. But what a way to wrap up what has been round number 9 of the American Dirt Series 360 winged sprint cars from the Eldora Speedway. And next week we travel to the sprint car capital of the world, the Knoxville Raceway. But let's wait a few moments for our drivers to find their way into the Discord. So with that being said, we'll quickly take a quick commercial break, give them 30 seconds to jump in, and then we'll be back on the other side of this. And we are back here on Ultimate Dirt TV, coverage of the American Dirt Series 360 winged sprint cars here from Eldora. Let's go right down to victory lane, and putting it up on the top step is the number 9 machine of Ross Kaiser. Ross, congratulations on this victory. You led from start to finish, and boy, this number 9 car was very, very fast.
Thank you, Brett. Yeah, it's actually number 8, but thank you.
Number 8, number 9. You change your number. You change your number more than you change your underpants, I see.
How you been? It's been a while, huh?
Yeah, it has.
Yeah, it was a good race. Haven't been racing a ton lately. Been trying to race more. But yeah, it's been good. Had a great session tonight. Eldora has always been my strong suit, and I was able to come out and put down an average lap for quali. I got pushed a little tight, and I think I went 5th quick, so put me in the front row of the heat race, and then had a little mishap with Dean and hooked him on accident, and then was able to cut under him. But yeah, it was just hard racing with me and Dean. Sucks that he ended up getting wrecked by other people in that heat. But yeah, advanced to pole of the feature, and then feature racing was pretty smooth sailing. Just trunked the wing and stuck it on the top and tried to just run consistent laps, and luckily it was pretty smooth sailing.
Before you guys even got on the racetrack for the A main, with the warm-up session, it was already slick going into that. Did you think that, running that full 5-minute warm-up session helped the racetrack, or do you think that hurt it in the end, or was it always going to be the case on how the track played out? It was always going to be very, very slick all the way from the bottom to the top.
I personally think we ran the track in a little too much. I believe in the beginning of warm-up, the track looked pretty promising it would have been for the first about 15 laps of the feature. The way there was a lot of tack in the slick on the bottom and middle, to where it would have been a more 2 to 3 groove type of track, but we did run a lengthy warm-up, and that definitely made it more top dominant for the majority of the feature. So luckily that's where I like to run, so it helped me, but definitely a lot of people that prefer running middle bottom here definitely had to struggle because of that.
That's something we didn't really get into tonight, was obviously lap traffic. The yellows sort of coming out at the right time, so you guys didn't have to get into lap traffic. There was a 7-lap sprint to the end. Cameron Pritchard's pretty quick. He's been pretty quick this season. Of course, leading the points coming into tonight. Obviously, you're not here to point race. You're just here to pick up wins here and there, and whenever you can get out here with the American Dirt Series. We sort of worried it all in those final 7 laps, knowing that you had, before that last yellow come out, you had 7/10 of a second lead, and now all of a sudden over those last 7 laps, he was going to be right on your back bumper.
Yeah, I started making mistakes in the end, and I definitely saw Cameron getting closer and closer, and I ended up hitting the wall, I think, out of 3 and 4, and then it announced to me I had wheel damage, so I just it made my car a little tight, so I pulled the wing a click forward, and that helped a bit, but it was definitely a bit trickier on my end, and I saw Cameron come in, and then in the last few laps, he started throwing sliders on me, so I just tried to make sure he was sliding me in 3 and 4 and not 1 and 2, No, he slid me at 1 and 2. I was just trying to make sure I was the one running slider or cut down in 3 and 4, just because that's the best place to get a run and hold your position. If you're getting overtaken in 3 and 4, you're more than likely gonna end up getting passed for the lead at the checkered. But luckily, it all panned out pretty good, so pretty happy on the result.
All panned out for your lead from start to finish in this main event. Ross, congratulations on the victory here tonight at Eldora Speedway. No doubt a lot of sponsors on this race car, a lot of great people behind the scenes. Now's an opportunity to go ahead and thank those people.
Yeah, gotta thank all the boys at the new team I've joined recently, Racecraft Academy and Nitro Circus. It's been a nice change. Been with Speed Shop for many seasons, and just a nice change, whole new crowd. Definitely learning a lot of stuff on dirt road now and everything, and yeah, it's been great. Got to thank Josh Edmondson and Eric Whitner and Kenny Hoffman, all the boys that help out on the dirt side of things, and also got to thank Racecraft Academy, Nitro Circus, Pimax, Next Level Racing, and there's plenty more I haven't gotten a chance to learn yet. But yeah, all the people on board that make it happen and support, I appreciate all of it. Look forward to the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, buddy. Well done on the win, and hopefully we see you back next week. Next week we go to Knoxville. Are you coming back for that one?
Oh yeah, I'll be here.
All right, righto, buddy. Good luck. Good job on the win. We'll see you back next week, mate.
Thank you. Have a good one.
There you go, Ross Kaiser with your win here tonight. Home in second place tonight. Well, he continues the good run of top fives and podiums. It's Cameron Pritchard home in second spot. Cameron, congratulations on the runner-up finish. And, well, all barring those last sort of 7 laps, you sort of let Ross get away from you there in the end. But, man, those 7 laps, that was a different tale to what could have been a different ending of the outcome.
Yeah, I felt like I had a faster car in the beginning, and he got in the wall, and I had to check up and hit the wall, and I let him get away, and then just try to drive the car too hard. Just made so many mistakes there, and let him pull away, and then obviously Kenny came in and Greg, and was able you finally get back by them, and it was just kind of too late, and I kind of didn't want that last caution to come out because I didn't want somebody to be on my back bumper, but it was just so slick, it was kind of hard to land. And he slider to pass. So just all in all, just a great race, just having fun.
Man, you obviously come into tonight being the points leader. You continue going on with the trend in opening up what is now going to be a 54-point lead heading into Knoxville. We've seen over the past sort of month of racing, the podiums, the wins, the top fives. They've been so consistent for you, not only the past month but also this season. We go to Knoxville next week. We get to the sort of the back 5 races of this season. Do you start to think about the points? Do you start the points race, or do you take it week by week?
I'm kind of go for the standings in the next 2 races. I'm pretty good at Knoxville, and I love Grove. So we're going to try to main them out, and then the next couple are going to be maybe a little bit of a struggle, but just try to finish high up we can. In top 5s, top 10s, I should be able to be okay. It was just trying to, I didn't really want to force the win and wreck anything or junk the car and go way back and fall back in points. I just want to kind of stick there and pretty good. Just hoping we can hang on to it.
Yeah, well, good luck next week at Knoxville Raceway. No doubt we'll see you back here next Friday night. But Cameron, congratulations on yet another podium here tonight from round number 9 at the Eldora Speedway. No doubt a lot of people on this race car, a lot of people behind the scenes. Now's an opportunity to thank each and every one of that supports you here on the sim.
Yeah, just everybody over at 30 Sets and 30 South Sim Racing, Bobcat Front of Car, Falcons Brothers Trucking, Redline Race Designs for the paint, and just Dean, Chad, Dave, Greg, John, Jeff, Nick. I know there's a couple I'm missing, but just thanks to all them guys and all the work they put in to make these cars go fast.
All right, there we go, guys. Cameron Pritchard coming home with the runner-up position, and the final spot on the podium goes to the number 1 machine of Kenny Hoffman. Kenny, congratulations on what is a 3rd place finish, and you didn't make it easier on yourself, mate. You start from 11th, you come away with +8 up to position number 3. That was a hell of a drive.
Yeah, I don't know. I just really got to learn how to qualify, I guess. I have speed in the 410 at this place. It's just the 360 I just haven't been able to, get quicker at with. So, the feature, I felt all right. And then as the race went on, just seeing like the car positioning of Ross and Cameron, I couldn't go up that high. Just I was fighting way too tight. So, we'll take the +8. Um, it's definitely nothing to hang your head about when you go forward and end the night with a podium.
We had the final 7 laps there was pretty much going to be a sprint between you 3 guys there. I think with about 3 or 4 to go, Cameron was sliding Ross a number of times. You're actually catching up to him. Did you think that if those guys kept sliding each other, that you really had a shot at the potentially getting 1 or 2 spots higher up on this podium?
Yeah, I really did. I thought, I figured if they were going to start racing, I was going to be able to slowly catch up and then, potentially have a shot to just somehow find a way by them both. But, when they were battling, I just kept putting myself in bad positionings, hitting the wall and all that stuff, just fighting that tight issue that last half of the race. But, if we would have stayed green, it could have been better. I don't know. It's just, it is what it is.
No, I can't even look. Well done on a 3rd place finish here tonight at Eldora Speedway. Round 9 of the American Dirt Series 360 winged sprint cars. Kenny, before we let you go, of course, a nice looking hot rod, no doubt. A lot of sponsors, a lot of great people behind the scenes that make this possible for you and the one car to get around. Take some time. Thank everyone, and thank each and everyone involved.
Yeah, just shout out to everybody that is on Racecraft Academy and the dirt side. Congratulations to my teammate Ross and picking up the win, and thank you to everybody over on the Nitro Circus side. It's just really great group of people, and then shout out to buddy Eric Whitner who helps us out too. And then the sponsors, Next Level Racing, Apex Gaming PCs, Nitro Circus, Racecraft Academy. And then thank you for picking up the broadcast for the rest of the season, and thank you to all the admins that are putting the show on for us.
No, buddy, well done on 3rd place, and hopefully see you back next week at Knoxville.
Yep.
All right, there we go, guys. Kenny Hoffman with your 3rd place finish here tonight. That, of course, will wrap up the post-race coverage here from the Eldora Speedway live here on Ultimate Dirt TV. Congratulations goes to Ross Kaiser, who gets the win here tonight in the number 8 machine. He's been formerly known as the 9, the 4. Now he's back into an 8. He's just, well, he can change his numbers. It doesn't really matter what he drives or what he changes. That car is always going to be fast, especially towards the front of the field. But congratulations to Ross Kaiser. Round number 9 of the American Dirt Series 360 winged sprint cars is done. Until next week, round number 10 in the sprint car capital of the world, the Knoxville Raceway. We certainly look forward to having your coverage next Friday night from about 10:25 Eastern. On behalf of the team here at Ultimate Dirt TV and the management behind the scenes, I'm Brett Wheeler, signing off, saying good night.